Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So very quick video at the start of the day. I did already make a community post about this last night as the news dropped, but I couldn't quite record a video to cover it. So here we go. Basically, we do have update on Titania and Iron Man Infamous balancing. And long story short, for those of you who are in a rush, Titania and Iron Man Infamous are not getting balanced. Nothing is going to change about them, but we are getting a brand new buff, and that is going to be OG Spider-Man, who is going to get a full overhaul with a brand new kit, given the fact that he doesn't really have any abilities. We can quickly jump to Aunt May and check out how much Spider-Man has under the hood, and obviously he's just one of those champions that's been in the game since the very beginning. He's quite literally the champion that everybody has, because you do receive him as your first ever 1-star to start off the game, and basically we have awakened ability that gives him a chance to evade up until 27%, and then obviously he has 8% chance to boost his critical rating on special attacks, and critical hits inflict armor breaks, which is actually quite cool ability if you ask me. That ability has aged like very well. It is, you know, very cool if we had more champions that randomly armor broke and basic combos. Special attack 1, 68% chance to inflict weakness, and special 2, it ignores block proficiency to a little tiny bit degree. So basically there are just no abilities. Level 3 doesn't even have a description because it doesn't have any ability. And yeah, he's about as simple as champions can come. You know, you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of text in him, 7 if you include sig ability. So obviously, it should be fairly straightforward to boost him up. So as far as Titania goes, they are happy with how Titania landed in the current meta. She had some annoying Mystic Defenders in mind as targets, alongside with a new path 2 in Alliance War. And we're glad to see that players have used her effectively in those matchups. Poor mojo. Additionally, we're seeing players do well with her aggressive playstyle in certain battlegrounds metas. All in all, we are happy with where Titania currently sits in the battle realm and won't be making any change to her kit. And here, one of the things that really kind of made me think a bit as well is, like, Iron Man Infamous had some specific mutant targets in his sights, and we are glad to see him taking out plenty of annoying bishops and apocalypses out there on defense. Iron Man Infamous was designed to hit harder than his Mystic counterpart in day-to-day matchup. Now, this one I don't really know. Does he hit harder? Like, I don't have a 6-star. I have messed around with a 5-star rank 3, and he doesn't really seem to hit all that hard to me. I really don't know if he does hit harder than his Mystic counterpart in a day-to-day matchup. So you guys maybe can fill me up on that, but I'm a bit skeptical on that, but fair enough. While also featuring his own take on power control, that he does. I do like his power control. In this case, we put an emphasis on his personal armor buff, which he needs in order to trigger the Aura of Iron, take away Victor's armor on attack or defense, and you take away his utility and damage. So far, we're happy with how that exchange has played out, and we'll be leaving him as is. Fair enough. I think Infamous Iron Man is a solid champion. I obviously, you know, do think that overall Dr. Doom is the better Doom. But as long as Kabam's happy, he's not getting touched, and as long as they're not getting tuned down. But the most important thing is obviously the Spider-Man Classic is going to get a full-on rework. I do believe that rework ought to be scheduled for April, if I'm not mistaken. March is when we should be getting Hulk rework. January, I believe, is when we are getting Iron Man Infinity War buff, and that's it, I think. Then in February, which I think we are getting America Chavez and Gore's buffs. And then in March, it should be Hulk. And then April is when realistically we would be looking at Spider-Man Classic full-on rework. Which, you know, I do love that OG champions are getting the reworks like Hulk and Spider-Man. I wish they paid some attention to Iron Man, Superior Iron Man, both of the Captain Americas, the older versions, and Groot, obviously, champions like that. So hopefully they're gonna keep in line with the oldest champions. And I do think also that Spidey is such an iconic character that it's about time that the original standard default version, the picture that if we are mentioned the word Spider-Man, we immediately picture the OG Peter Parker, standard Spidey suit. None of this, Miss Spidey Supreme stuff and stuff like that. So I'm very, very happy that he's getting a buff, and I do hope it's a meaningful one. I do hope he is a great champion after his buff, and I look forward to, playtesting that. The sad or slightly ironic part here is that my OG Spidey as a 6-star is unawakened. So here is going to be a good measure of quality for OG Spidey buff is whether he's going to earn a gem from me. Unless I awaken him till then. Because obviously, I do have quite a lot of bias towards OG Spidey. He is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters. I typically am not the biggest fan of Spider characters in this game, just because Kabam insists on making them quite squishy, kind of like glass cannons. And I personally think that Spider-Man is, way more durable than Kabam pretends that Spider-Man are. But at the same time, if they do a good job, I would be glad to give that champion a generic gem and rank him up and use him daily, and I would think it would be extremely appropriate for the game at large, as him being one of the most iconic Marvel characters ever. And I definitely look forward to learning more about that buff, as well as OG Hulk's buff. So that is pretty much it for now. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you guys excited for OG Spidey buff? Obviously, 2022 was not the best year for champion buff, so let's hope that 2023 starts strong and carries on strong as well. So that's it for now, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about